never ending or beginning on an ever spinning.
From Love Island to the Lego Movie.
I've seen you go through similar phases in 2016 and 2012 and 2008 and 2005.
Entertainment just isn't entertainment these days unless it's meta.
And that weird one in 1966.
If you're unsure as to the definition of meta, look no further than A Strange Loop. It's a musical about a self-doubting, plus-sized black queer writer who's writing a musical about a self-doubting, plus-sized black queer writer who's writing a musical. The musical is written by Michael R. Jackson, who's a self-doubting, plus-sized black queer writer. Oh, and the character is called Usher, and he's an usher. Self-aware and self-referential, A Strange Loop is possibly the world's first self-defined, metafictional, meta-musical.
Of your mind.
Usher. How many minutes till the end of intermission? Is that how the show should open?
It's a mighty meta overload that's likely to be divisive.
Should there even be a show?
Strange Loop comes to the Barbican from its run on Broadway. A run that on one hand garnered it the Tony for Best New Musical and the Pulitzer for Best Drama. A run that on the other hand only lasted 9 months. The New York Times noted the play's brilliance, calling it radical. Reddit threads call it vulgar, self-important, and, negatively, woke. One of the problems is that A Strange Loop has no narrative. The character doesn't go on a journey. By the end of the show, nothing has been learned, nothing has been changed, nothing is better or worse. But it's to be expected. The title refers to the cognitive science. Bear with me.
Here comes the science bit. Concentrate.
That says there is no such thing as I. That we build our expectations of self-belief through our experiences lived. It's the paradox behind the chicken and egg theory, which came first. It says we can't know who we are without knowing who we are. That's not too bad, actually. So, for 100 interval-free minutes, we watch as Usher battles his thoughts, trying to understand why he is who he is, in order to write a musical that is personal for him. Which, of course, he can't, because therein lies the paradox of A Strange Loop, which is what makes this show an absolute delight.
Black boys must always obey their mothers. White girls can do anything, can't they?
Maintaining our interest in a show that doesn't follow the usual structure relies heavily on the likability of the lead character. Never off stage, Kyle Ramar Freeman, who understudied on Broadway, gives it and us his heart and soul throughout. Sharing a stage with him on a set that is, for the most time, completely bare other than 6 door frames, are the thoughts. 5 men, 1 woman wearing pink, whether that's dungarees, lycra or crop tops. They pose, genuflect and circle round him. With self-assured queerness they mock his insecurities. Their gay confidence just makes him more aware of his own inability to fit in. At times the thoughts represent real people in Usher's life, his agent, his sexual partners, his parents, more later. But ultimately they are just elements of his own self-doubt created by him. So we have to remember that everything they are saying that is nasty to him is created by himself. The performers, Nathan Amarque Larea, Danny Bailey, Eddie Elliott, Charlene Hector, Tende Humphrey Silma, and Ukiah Usher, are without exception flawless. At times evil, hateful, bitchy, cutting. They are hypnotisingly watchable.
traitor.
Race traitor.
I'm Carter G. Woodson.
Jimmy Baldwin.
Zora Neale Huss.
12 years a slave.
Whitney.
What do you want with me?
A Strange Loop is one of the first shows I can remember seeing that breaks the tropes we're so used to in stories about poor young gay boys. From as far back as 1988's Torch Song Trilogy to the more recent It's a Sin, we have cried along with boys as they overcome life's obstacles. We have cheered as they have found happiness in a community that has welcomed them as their own loving gay family. But that's not how it is. And A Strange Loop rips this pretty wrapping paper to reveal the rather ugly truth. It says that not being one thing doesn't automatically make you another. It says that sharing a lack of acceptance does not automatically give you acceptance. We will all be guilty of subconsciously placing Usher into some community when we first meet him. And as the show goes on, we see that he is too black for the blacks, too repressed for the queers, too camp for the straight acting, too musical oriented for the theatrical, too small-dicked for the sexual. It's probably not what we want to hear, but it's probably what we all already know.
What's going on in New York? We wanna know what's going on in your life.
Jackson pulls no punches in showing the hypocrisy of the religious. People who believe and worship an all-loving God, but who can easily delete homosexuals from the definition of all. A God who gives us all, including AIDS as his punishment. To quote the name of a gospel number that appears towards the end of the show, to which we are encouraged to clap. The religious zealots are the other two main characters that appear throughout. Usher's mother and father. They are played, of course, by the Thoughts, either singly or with a voice shared by all six. For the first half of the show, this is done through singing answerphone messages. His mother, on birthdays, reminding him of the pain she went through to give birth to him.
So now it's time for you to pay me back. Please.
It's the least your black buck can do after all the love we done gave.
And all the money we done come off of. Unless you just don't love your mama.
His father leaving drunken late night messages, wondering whether if his son fancies men, surely he fancies his own father too.
Oh, music out front, just like somebody spray painted.
These are the messages of love that Usher has grown with and that have created his own perceptions of love today. It's no wonder he struggles.
American Broadway.
Big black and queer as American Broadway. Big black and queer.
If you know anything about the show, you'll also know there are adult themes, and they may be barriers to the C, N and F word are bountiful. The song Inward Daddy
Tonight I get attracted to Inwood Daddy sucking cock all Saturday morning.
is accompanied by not just any old interpretation of gay sex, but a sub-dom race play one night stand. During another song, Exile in Gayville.
Looking into hung. Here we go. Inner white girl, it's no fun in this age of fuck and run. Headless horse.
Usher is rejected multiple times, with Kurt cutting snitty, bitchy little phrases on the gay apps, using terms that many a gay man will recognise, but others luckily may not. There are warnings about these things. If you are sensitive and you find it difficult to see through these to the actual heart of the show, don't bother coming. And if you do, just shut up about it afterwards. But perhaps the most surprising barrier is the one that is most unexpected. We know the show is American, but it is American with a big fat U and S right through the core. So we have references that are key to the show but really don't mean anything to us here. Like Tyler Perry, who he?
Jesus, the Lord God Almighty, he can turn water into wine.
Yes, he did.
I got to go to the liquor store to get mine. Won't somebody praise him?
Chicken Popeyes.
The Popeyes Big Box is back, and it is big. Our juicy signature chicken or crispy tenders, 2 regular sides, and a buttermilk biscuit for just $6. We're gonna...
Scott Rudin. Even Lin-Manuel Miranda made a few tweaks to his script when he came to the West End. It's amazing how the simplest things can end up causing the most problems. The character of Usher has so many layers to him that for most audiences we will feel sympathy but not empathy. And that may be a challenge in this show, finding a wider audience. They won't be able to relate to such specificity. Now, some say it's about time that theatre gave a voice to... And that's great if you're a... But that, in my mind, wholly misses the point. What's important to take out here isn't the specifics of Usher's Strange Loop, although, of course, if you learn from that, all the better. It's the fact that we all have our own specific strange loops. We all have things that make and break us, things we want to change but never do. Cycles we reject whilst still repeating. Experiences that drive us to look for acceptance elsewhere, but we hold on to them, so impeding our own ability to find that acceptance. Don't get me wrong, A Strange Loop is a unique show about a unique person with a unique experience. But isn't that all of us? It should be seen by everyone, regardless of their own recognition. It's a joyous reminder that what we share is our joyous reminder that what we share is our joyous reminder that what we share is our difference. It's a joyous reminder that what we share is our joyous reminder that what we share is our difference.